Happy Saturday, YouTube. I'm not all that peppery this morning. I have a bod pod. It's like 9:15, but you can't eat or drink, and I'm old. That's one of the bad things about being old is you can't sleep in. So I've been up on and off since 6:30 without coffee. So 9:15, can't get here fast enough. We'll get that done. I'll show you guys how that goes. It looks kind of cool. I don't know if you remember Mork and Mindy, but the thing you get in looks just like Mork's spaceship, kind of like an egg. So nanu nanu. We'll show you what that looks like, and then we're gonna go immediately to Starbucks and get a coffee fix. But we'll catch you guys on the flip side. It's never happening.
Never ever say never ever.
So I kept all my muscle, 145 pounds of it, and lost 8 pounds of fat. Take it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You went from 27.1% to 23.9. Dropped 3.2% body fat. Awesome.
Not bad for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm talking about. 8.3 pounds of fat loss. Muscle went up 0.3. Awesome.
So eating over 70% of your calories as fat can work.
That's how your body works for you.
Yeah.
Whoever responds good to it. People are different. New results.
Boom. I like all those arrows going down and then the one going up. All right, guys. Finally got some caffeine in me. Got the bod pod done. I took you along for that, and I didn't take you along just so that you could see the strip show because that likely broke your TV from what it had to see there. But what I wanted to show you are different ways to track your progress. Now, some people like to weigh every day, and for the longest time I was not in that camp. It messed with my head, and I didn't do it. I've started doing it more lately. Last year I started doing it, actually weighing every day, and it would freak me out when I would get on and see the weight go up and then go back down, go back up. So I got into the habit of where, you know, I think you saw my scale earlier today where it kind of thinks about it and it shows me the weight before it actually records it. If it went up and I knew it went up, I would step off and not let it record. I've kind of gotten out of my head about that, and I go ahead and let it record every day. The Withings app, I think it's called Nokia HealthMate app now, tracks the actual trend lines so that you can kind of see how those ups and downs really show a downward trajectory. But at any rate, if it's going to get in your head when you see your weight go up, because your weight can fluctuate up or down 5 pounds in one day, and you know that's not fat. If it's going to get in your head, though, when you see that, then I would suggest maybe don't weigh every day. In fact, maybe just weigh once a week. Like on Fridays is typically... Back when I originally lost all my weight, I would only weigh on Fridays because I would notice that on Mondays my weight would be up from the weekend because maybe I ate too much food or I went out and had hot wings or something like that that caused me to gain some water weight. So I'd always weigh in on Fridays. But whatever it is, maybe just weigh in on that once a week. And if that's too much for you, even do once a month. Rob Wolf, who is sort of one of the founding fathers of the paleo movement, actually had a great quote about his scale, though. He said, what you ought to do is take your scale, wrap it up, put a bow on it, and give it to your worst enemy. Because it can really mess with your head when you see it go up and down like that. I would just encourage you that if you're going to rely on the scale, don't let it get in your head when you see it go up and down. Because the scale really is just a snapshot in time. And it's not telling you anything. It's just your weight. It's not telling you how much muscle mass you have or how much body fat you have. So that brings me to the next thing. There are other ways that you can track your progress that shows a little more detail as to what's going on. Because theoretically, you could even show a gain in weight, but your body fat went down and your muscle went up. So, but you're never going to see that from the scale. Now, my scale attempts to measure body fat, and I think you saw that. It measured me in at like 27 point something percent. But then when I went and did my bod pod, which is a way more accurate thing, it showed a body fat percentage something less than that. So you know, the way that the scale is attempting to calculate the body fat is it's sending a low-level electric pulse through your body, and based on the resistance it gets going from A to B, it calculates a body fat percentage. You can step that up to the next level and get a more accurate calculation by doing what I did today as a bod pod, or doing a water displacement tank. And they both work in a similar way. So the the water displacement tank is going to measure how much water is displaced by your body, and from that it can calculate how much body fat you have. And the bod pod does the same thing, but instead of water, it's looking at air displacement. And there are some errors in that, but you know, you just got to deal with what you have available to you. The gold standard for all of it would be what's called a DEXA scan, which really, you know, kind of sends x-rays through your body and can actually see what is fat and what is muscle and get the most accurate depiction. But A, we don't have that in Waco, and B, if we did, it's very expensive anyway. I go to Legit Recovery in Waco. It's great. You can sign up for a monthly fee and go get your bod pod done as many times as you want. I can go in, and they've got these, I think you saw on my Instagram, which I'll put in my link below. You need to start following that too, where I posted I did some recovery after last week's run, where they put these things that squeeze your legs. Really cool place. At any rate, that's where I go for my bod pods here locally. I'm sure you can find a place where you are. It's the cheaper of the options. It's still not cheap, but it's cheaper than DEXA. It's more accurate than what you're going to get off your scale, and I really like doing it. So let's get to the results on this. I think you saw that in the video when he called them out, but just to recap, it was great. I did my last bod pod was right before Thanksgiving, so these results happened over a period of time where I had Thanksgiving and Christmas parties at work, and then Christmas itself, and then New Year's parties, times when people tend to pack on the pounds. This was my results, and I'm pretty proud of them. So my body fat went down 3.2%. I lost 8.3 pounds of fat over that period of time, so it's just under 2 months. Could have been better, but I ate a lot of food. I just ate keto foods. My lean body mass actually put on muscle, 0.3 pounds, you know, and most people when they're losing weight are going to tend to lose muscle too, so I'm very proud of that. Body weight went down by 8 pounds. So that's some great results, and I'll take that all day long. It's funny too, in the video, I've had this ongoing debate with the guy who runs the place about the efficacy of keto. He's not a huge fan. You can kind of hear it in his voice when I tell him, hey, so I think you can lose weight and gain muscle when you're eating 70% fat. Like, he just didn't like that at all. But anyway, those are some good results. I hope you understand some better ways to track. And like I said, if you're going to weigh in, especially if you're going to weigh in every day, don't let it get in your head. You want to look at the trend. If you're not going to use a Nokia Withings scale and you're going to do it manually, going to track it manually, probably the best way to do it is just keep a rolling average. So what you can do is take the average of the previous 5 days' weight, and that'll give you a trend line that will be better than just looking like, oh my God, I went up 4 pounds yesterday. What did I do? So at any rate, hope that helps. We'll see you guys later. Okay, well today is another day. We're going to try to hit 12 miles this time. I'm going to go a little extra since I know what 10 miles is now. And this time I did not wear my crappy Samsung. I got my Polar on, and it's ugly as sin, but it does the trick, and it's not going to pause on me. Not going to take you long for this run. You saw that last week, then there's no reason to see it again. But we're going to get this done, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, it's the following Saturday, and I screwed up. I didn't edit last weekend's video, so I guess this weekend I'll just post 2 weekends worth. So it'll be a bonus. Good things come to those who wait. This is our last long-distance run before the half marathon next week. I actually did a full half marathon today. 13.1 miles, finished it in 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 6 seconds. So, I guess my initial goal of finishing before 3 hours might have been a little bit of sandbagging. Who knows? Alright, well, I'm going to wait on my wife to get done. Probably go get a drink. This wind, apologize guys, I'm sure it sounds like crap, but I can't do anything about the wind. And then tonight, going to try to make it to a new coffee house in town. They have something called Egg Coffee, which sounds right up the ketogenic alley. Can't wait to try it. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Egg coffee. I'm about to try it. Sounds kind of weird, but I'm hyped about it for some reason. This should be totally keto though, right? Coffee and egg. Looking forward to it. There's somebody hiding back there, but you can't see him. Are you gonna get a mocha ice blend?
I don't know what the difference is.
It'll have chocolate, sweetness, goodness in it.
It's not low carb.
Definitely not.
If I was gonna cheat on low carb, I would get ice cream in my coffee.
I bet that's kind of amazing.
I bet it is amazing.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is it literally just egg and coffee and egg coffee? I can't have sugar or anything like that.
There's some sugar in there.
Can you do it without sugar?
Let me ask for that.
Okay.
I want to get a drink out of the.
You can't? Do you have heavy cream at all?
Heavy cream no do.
Well, shit. I guess I'll just have a coffee.
Coffee?
2 of them.
2 coffees?
And then can I have a cream cheese?
Wait, just like plain coffee?
Yeah. I wanted to try an egg coffee, but I can't have sugar.
Can you do that?
Even our black coffees have a little bit of sugar in them.
Does it really? Okay, guys. Very important thing about the keto diet. You have to be very careful because sugar just hides in everything. Things that you wouldn't expect it to have. So we go into that place and I want to get an egg coffee. Do you think, okay, egg, coffee, keto approved? No. I asked him, I said, is it just keto or is it just egg and coffee? And he went back and he came back and he said, no, it has sugar in it. So I was like, okay, well then I'll just get a black coffee, whatever. And then I said, well, hold on a minute. That doesn't have sugar either, does it? And he said, yes, all of our coffee has sugar in it because apparently Vietnamese coffee tastes like shit and you got to put sugar in everything. So we are going to head over to H-E-B, get some heavy cream, and then go to a local place called Common Grounds, which is badass, but they don't have heavy cream. All they have is half and half, and we'll get some coffee there. We'll see you guys later. Okay, it's super dark in here, but I got my Heritage coffee with some heavy cream that I brought myself. Oh, look, there's a light. Christina turned it on for me. And we're just going to call it a night. Finish this. We'll actually call it a wrap for the weekend, and I promise you I'll get this one uploaded. Bye.